Okay, Reddit. So check this out. A lot of people's been thinking that I've been exaggerating the clearance of this pin in your hand when you're in here, right? So when you're doing pulling movements, right, like rows and stuff, the barbell is going to sit further away from your hand. So you can see the clearance on that here. Let me put it in there. You can see the clearance on that, right? Here. See, this is me pulling the dumbbell. You see the clearance? There's enough clearance, but not by much. You see, as I roll the dumbbell, it starts to get smaller, right? Now, when you're pushing and pressing the dumbbell is going to sit more like in your palm. So this is pulling, this is pushing, right? Now you can see pushing. Look at that. Look at that big knuckle. Let me bring this over. You see that? Now I'm in a pushing position where the dumbbell is going to sit further down your palm of your hand, closer towards your wrist, right? Now when you have that, for me, look, if I rotate my hand at all, no clearance. It is on that. See that? That is rubbing against my knuckle. Now, I'm going to grip it as hard as I can. You see? I'm gripping it as hard as I can. And if my hand rotate, you see that? It's going to rub against it. See? I'm going to grip it as hard as I can. Right? You see the clearance? Is that exaggeration? Should there be more clearance, right? Or is that adequate for you guys? My hands are not that big. For scale, my hand is not that big, but maybe it is a little big. But look, there should be way more clearance. There should be way more clearance. See that? I'm gripping it. I'm not letting it loose. I am just rotating my wrist in and out just to simulate whenever the dumbbell is kind of shifting in your hands as you're getting in a position. Sometimes the dumbbell is going to rotate a little bit. And when I wear gloves, because I like to lift with gloves, and please don't try to judge me on that. So I like to lift with gloves. Now, see that? See how easy that is? Look, I'm going to grip this thing. Any movement of my wrist, any movement at all, it's going to pop that pin out. See? I'm not letting my grip loose. I'm just rotating my wrist a little bit just to simulate the instability when you're under heavy loads. See? But this is a very easy fix. I don't know if they even need this bolt to be threaded that long. If rep just cuts that end off, you can literally just pull this out to unlock. Push it in the lock. Pull it out to unlock. You don't need to have this whole nudge on the inside to push out. You can just pull this pin out and push it in. It's a very simple fix they can do. It's not even that complicated. Just shave that down. I don't know if that's holding any weight, this little nipple, but if I measured the distance from this dumbbell, from this handle to the end of this nipple, right? That's only 1.6 inches, guys. It's not that much clearance for your hand. So when you're in position, it's very simple to knock it out. So all you gotta do is shave that down and just resort to pulling the pin out when you want to switch weight, which is not hard. It's not hard. You could even make it so like this pin has a lip so you can just get a better grip. For me, I don't have a problem pulling it out and pushing it in. But I feel like this nipple here, it's just poor design. You can just pull it out right here. Why do you need that nipple? Why? And for the adder weights, the adder weight issues where I had one of my adder weight, it's actually this one. One of my adder weight, the pin no longer goes in and out correctly. This one, I just got these dumbbells, so this This came messed up from the factory, but somebody commented that one of their adder weights went bad over time. And what it is you see how skinny that pin is, and this pin has a lot of friction. I think it can build up a lot of friction over time. If you get dirt and grit in there, over time it's going to get gritty, so that might prevent it from moving fluidly in there. And so what happens is when you slide this in here, you see it basically that pin will let me try to get this focus. Hold on. Well, that pin, what it does, it hits onto your head plate, the very first plate, and that pushes the pin in. But if the pin don't move in, when you slide it down on this thing, eventually it's going to put enough stress on this pin that it can bend it, right? And if it bends it and you don't notice and you're lifting with this while it's stuck like this, you just got to really make sure this pin is in. But if you forget about it and it doesn't lock in and you go and you do something like a press or overhead press, this is likely to fall out. So this pin is not really trustworthy. You guys always got to keep it lubed and keep mindful of it. So I hope that answers some questions. And I hope you guys see a different angle that you didn't see before. Thank you. Oh yeah, and a couple last things. So there is a way to get around this whole pin issue, even without shaving that nipple down. What you do is, you want to hold the weight as balanced as possible, meaning the evenness of both sides is directly balanced, right? But the more balanced it is, the closer your knuckle kind of gets to that pin. What you can do is you can turn it inward like this. So now this rail is closer to your wrist, right? When that happens, that pin is further away from you. But now you're not as balanced. And then you have this rail kind of on your wrist. So that's not really a good solution as either, but it will work. So that's what I've been doing to circumvent when I'm working in the ranges where it's like from 40 to 70 where my knuckle can get in the way. I would just kind of rotate them inwards. And it's not 100% balanced, but it's about 90. It's about 90%. And I don't really mind that rail on my wrist too much. I'd rather it not, right? But you got to do what you have to do. And if I can just go and get that shaved down, I think I'm just going to go and take this to the machinist and shave that down. And if you guys have questions about fat grips, being that the distance between this pin and this handle is only 1.6 inches, if you put fat grips on, look, you put fat grips on, and how are you gonna grip this, bro? Without, well, I guess you can kind. It's on my hand. See that? But I mean, you can do it. Oh, that don't feel good at all. No, not. Yeah, that's not gonna work. But Versa grips. I thought it wouldn't work, but you know what? I was wrong. Versa grips. You use Versa grips for when you're hold on real quick. We use Versa grips when we pull, right? There's no point in using them for pushing movement. That's just retarded. I mean, that's just not the right thing to do. So you only use them for pulling. So with Versa grips, I can just use the tip of my fingers to hold on to it and have just really good grip like that. So with that, the dumbbell sits further away from your wrist. So that gives you a lot more space. Hold on. That gives you a lot more space. So Versa grips actually works really good with this dumbbell. So there's that. All right, guys. What else? Is there anything else? Yep, I think that's about it. All right, y'all. Thank you.